Phase 1 is easy to pug. Phase 2, nobody wants to pug because the fights are mechanically heavy. I think even beyond that, it's the fucking attunements and the leveling and stuff, right? There's just too much of a gate to get to the phase 2 raids, right? For the casual player. Right? And again, I'm not saying that that's bad at all. I'm just saying it is what it is. But I do think that's the case, 100%. Right? So, before you get... Right? Let's do a road... Right, here's some grass, right? There's some grass. Here's a nice blue sky, right? And then, we're gonna have some, actually what we're gonna do is more like, maybe like, maybe more, yeah, that's good. And then we'll go here, and we'll go here. So, here is... Who's attacking me? Who's attacking me? LOL, kick W. From no commitment, you... Okay, bro. Let me finish my MS Paint, motherfucker. And then we'll see who's the tough guy. So, you have... Phase 2 raids will be right here. Hold on. Phase 2 raids are going to be right here. It'll represent the star, right? So that's Phase 2 raids. That's the objective. But before you can get to Phase 2 raids, you have to do the attunement for the Phase 2 raid, right? And then before you can do the attunements for the Phase 2 raids, you got to be able to do the Phase 1 raids, right? So there's a gate in front of there. And before you can do the Phase 1 raids, you got to do the attunement for the Phase 1 raids. Before you can do the attunement for the Phase 1 raids, you got to get flying. And before you can get flying, you got to get 70, which is just more of a grind, right? So... You have, you know, someone coming back, you know, we for the last 2.5 or 3 years, since Wrath of the Lich King Classic, I think even TBC Classic, we've had Joyous Journeys, man, you know. Since the last time we really had to do this, I think at the end of TBC Classic, maybe Wrath pre-patch, maybe somewhere in Wrath, I think they introduced Joyous Journeys, right? Which was, you know, extra XP. That was a big deal. And then we had sod leveling, which was really nice, right? And even mop leveling, though, 85 to 90 was kind of a little bit of a grind. Like, you still had, like, Joyous Journeys at certain points. So we just kind of got used to all those things. So now, having this classic actual kind of experience, again, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying I don't like it, I'm just saying it is what it is, right? It is a classic experience here. And, you know, it's just not very casual friendly. And a lot of players are casual friendly. So you have people, like I said, coming in my stream every night being like, Bat, I'm gonna make it to 70 soon, and I'm gonna come raid with you guys, or Bat, I want to play with you, but I'm on this server and I don't want to re-level, or whatever, right? A lot of people that I know are like, hey, I can't wait till I get 70 and I come raid with you guys. But then we don't hear from them for a while. Nitsu, right? Nitsu got kind of hitting that brick wall, was here all through MOP, all through Sod Reborn. He has hit 70 and he has raided with us, right? So he's put in time, but he's definitely got hit by the walls here more. While other people may be, you know, pumping, those are typically, you know, its own demographic. And there's another demographic that's still, right? Still making their way up. And it is what it is, right? You gotta get 70 first. So, you know, it's like, oh, this is actually way more of a grind than we've been used to for the past, you know, couple years. Again, not bad, just it is what it is. Classic experience. And then you gotta have the gold, right? You gotta have 1,000 gold for the flying. And then you can get the Kara attunement. And then you can get the, or the raids. And then, yeah, you gotta actually get 70, get the gold, get the Kara attunement, and then do the Phase 1 raids, right? To get into Phase 2 stuff. So there's just a lot of, like, gates there. And again, I'm not saying they're bad, right? I want a TBC Classic experience. But I do think, for this release of it, they should add Joyous Journeys. I don't think we need to take away attunements. I don't think we got to take away anything else. What they need to do is they add Joyous Journeys for 1 month, right? Maybe even 2 weeks. Then it's just going to have a whole lot more people getting to the first step. The first step is now going to be overloaded with people coming back and getting hype and all getting to this first step, which will then trickle upwards, right? It's still not maybe like as casual as pugging as like Sod was or something like that, but it will still get more people over that first step, and we will be here helping pull them up these things as well by running Karas and Gruuls and everything, right? So, that's how we get the Phase 2 raids, which are right here, right? Is helping to get more people up these fucking steps, starting with the first step. And that's where I'm kind of at with the idea of Sod Reborn 2.0. Seems hype, everyone in chat wants to do it, maybe good for views, maybe we'll go ahead and do it anyways. Or should I put all my time into leveling an alt, right? And getting even more people up these first couple steps. Like, maybe we need to go harder on it, you know? And if I do Sod Reborn 2.0, instead of doing that, how many people are we going to be getting over these steps? How many people are we going to be getting over these steps just doing 1 Kara, Gruul, and Mag a week? Right? And then what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for people to come in Phase 3? Are we waiting for them to add Joyous Journeys? Like, is it going to get better in Phase 3? Is it going to get better later? Or, you know, well, I don't know. My gummy kicking in hard. I want to see the OG Batgasm Rogue. Yes, well, I mean, the OG Batgasm Rogue is on MOP, right? You actually had gear? I know! That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, TBC is hard. It's classic shit, bro. Right? We have gear because we're able to raid. Right? If we were able to pug every night, you know how many nights? Yes, there's been probably a good 4 or 5 nights that we couldn't go do raids because of the trolls. And there has been a ripple effect from that as well, right? Of people, you know, about to kill Lady Vosh, but then, you know, not being able to kill Lady Vosh, right? Because the raid ID being stolen. But there was more loot dropping off of bosses in Sod, I think, and not just 2 pieces, right? That's a classic, that's what I'm saying. Scarlet Enclave was a classic raid. Scarlet Enclave was a vanilla raid. That's what people don't get. I know exactly what Classic Plus is going to be like. I know exactly what Classic Plus is going to be like. It's going to be Karazhan Crypts, and it's going to be Scarlet Enclave, and then the best parts of Phase 1 Sod, right? And a bunch of other cool new shit that I can't even think of, right? But, you know, if it's anything like Karazhan Crypts. But, you know, Scarlet Enclave was only dropping 2 pieces of gear, just like a vanilla raid, where everything else was dropping, like, shit tons of tokens, and, the more people you had, remember? The more people you had, the less, like, gear that dropped and stuff, right? So, it was a really good flex rating system. But we were also able to pug this shit, so we were able to go every single night. So even if we were, like, progressing slowly, we could still get in there and kill, like, 3 or 4 bosses a night and, you know, get geared, right? Here, it's just the whole time spent pugging. The whole time spent pugging, and we don't get in there till fucking 2 in the morning, and then everyone has to go to bed at 3:30, right? And so we get an hour of progging in there. And when you go, you get geared. Right? That's what I'm saying. I was able to give away a lot of gear. It didn't matter as much, and especially on rogue tanking, because rogue tanking, let me res and go find the mob. For anyone that never got to see rogue tanking, this was my first tank. This was my first main tank, raid lead, guild lead, everything. This was the character here. Right? It was Batgasm TTV, wasn't it? And then I got in trouble. Is that what it was? I think I had to change it. Yeah, it was Batgasm TTV, and everyone was terrified of this becoming the streamer server, so everyone with TTV in their name got their name changed. Remember that? Move that over. Oh my god, there's no edit mode! There's no edit mode! Oh my god! Thank god, dude. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Are we back where we belong, Betty? Hey, Nick, how you doing? How you doing? You actually had gear, yeah. yeah, so, and then having energy and, I don't even know what this is from. I've never had this. Enemy slain, jumps. When did I have a jump freaking add-on here? But, yeah, I had gear, bro. I had gear. Okay, let's see. I don't have anything. I should know these things, though. I have no flash powder. I have 0 flash powder. I'm going to do a main gouge is on 1. Main gouge is on 1. I'm going to pop evasion first. Popping evasion. He's just going to wait for the blind. Do I have a blind on me? Okay, I got a blind. We're going to get a blind here. 2, 1. We're going to get a blind going. Get a blind going. I got a potion if I get the blind. I got 3 seconds. God damn it, dude. Keck W. I remember you, by the way. LOL, LOL, Keck W. I do remember you. Don't think that I've forgotten. I will never forget that face. I will never forget your name. You're going on the list. You're going on the list. Don't do it. Don't do it. I thought you were going to sit on my face. You better not. Please, please, anything but that. Anything but that. Not no or goblin butt. Bro, will you please sit on... Okay, never mind. Okay. That sucks. I was going to say if you wanted a big sword for a big tank, Honor's Call's an option. What is that? What is that again? Miyagi, how you doing? Matt Drawn will getting ganked. Freddy-O, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Good to see ya. I know I'm behind on chat. If you're still here, let me know, Freddy-O. Says most people will almost have the Kara attunement done by 70 and should have enough gold from questing to buy the mount. This is the most casual-friendly TBC yet. It is the most casual-friendly version of TBC yet, but that doesn't still mean that it's 2026 casual-friendly, right? There's still definitely, like, again, for better or worse, I'm not shitting on it, right? At all, but the point is there is just more gates. I'm not saying they're, you know, the super hard gates. I mean, they're just grindy gates. None of it's super hard, it's just grindy. And there's like 5 of them, right? It's still definitely the most friendly version, right? If this was, you know, classic TBC, then there would be another tower pipe here because it would be, now you have to get your alt attuned, right? Where here, at least you only have to attune 1 character. But my point is that you still are just having people block out here, right? And then block out here, right? You're having people make it over, right? And everyone's different, but, you know, maybe some people take, you know, a long time to get here, or maybe some people get to here and then block out, like, that's just all there is to it. For better or worse, like, that's the effect of what's going on, right? That's all I'm saying. And so what would fix that problem without having to change too much about what TBC is? Because I'm not sitting here saying get rid of attunements. I wouldn't complain if they did, don't get me wrong. I would not complain at all. But I'm not saying that, right, or anything. I'm not saying we have to go to the extreme. We just have to get more people on that first block. That's it. That's our goal here, is getting more people to start going up those gates. And I think Joyous Journeys would be perfect for it. No one would give a fuck, first of all. The classic purists, myself included, don't give a fuck if we get Joyous Journeys. We already have dual spec. Like, give us race changes, give us faction changes. Like, no one cares about those things right now, right? We got to have a more authentic TBC, you know, experience back in 2021, right? And you couldn't, you know, only 1 boost per account. But even that was a new thing at the time, right? 1 boost per account. You couldn't boost the Draenei, you couldn't boost the Blood Elf, right? And that's how it was supposed to be this time too, but they saw with that's how it was supposed to be with the Pandaren as well when Mop came out, but no one gave a fuck. It's not taken away from the classic experience still, right? And there's a few things. I think most people are now hashtag some changes as opposed to hashtag no changes. And you know, obviously things like dual spec. I don't think anyone will ever complain if we don't have a version of WoW without dual spec ever again, right? And even 10 years or 15 years from now, right? And I think, I don't know, like maybe, you know, we got that real more authentic TBC experience in 2021. This is still a extremely authentic experience. However, we have a few things. We have dual spec already. We have post-nerf raids, right? We got the attunement stuff. We only have to do it with 1 character. So just give us Joyous Journeys for a month. Like, no one's gonna give a fuck. Give us Joyous Journeys. It'll be super hype. We need it. It's not like we don't need it right now. We're not trying to be greedy here and being like, oh, you know, everything should just be so fucking easy. I've been spending weeks trying to get people attuned, Blizzard. I have been spending weeks of my time trying to pug and get people attuned. We need Joyous Journeys right now, right? It would be super, super hype. It would bring a whole lot of people back to TBC, and we would get a whole influx of players on that first step there. And then we can take care of the rest, right? The community. Yeah, I don't know, it'd be hype. I mean, it goes back to the blocks, right? So the people who have, you know, made it all through these blocks here, especially day one, that's what I'm saying. Like, what this makes is a player pool down here, right? Right, so here's all the people who've made it over the blocks, boing, 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 right? And they're down here in the glorious Phase 2 attunements and stuff, right? Right, in, this is, you know, maybe what it would be like more in TBC, right? The people who made it past it. It's just smaller. And most of these people, I'm gonna use X's, right? Have already, like, have groups and people to go with. So the pugging pool is just a lot fucking smaller, right? Again, for better or for worse. You know, for better or worse, doesn't matter, you know? You know, you still got people getting over Kara, or getting to 70, and then getting flying, and then getting attuned for Kara, and then going into, you know, Phase 1 raids here, and then doing the attunement for Phase 2 raids, you know, like, and then finally getting, there's still, you know, weeks later, we're still having people catch up to that, right? And, but the people who are already there have their groups and stuff they're already going with. But still, regardless, again, like, I'm not against this. I'm not saying they should take out attunements or anything. I don't, you know, necessarily mind it. I'm just saying it is what it is, right? This is what's happening. This is the effect of why pugging is where it's at in Phase 2 TBC. And again, I think Joyous Journeys would fix it all. I don't think it takes away from a classic experience. I don't think that anyone cares about Joyous Journeys. We've been having it since even TBC Classic last time, right? So it's not like we haven't had it before. We got post-nerf raids. We got, you know, dual spec. We have the attunement stuff, right, for multiple characters. Like, give us Joyous Journeys, and we'll get a lot more influx of players hitting that first step again. And then, you know, we can take care of the rest and help them up the rest of the steps with the attunements. Right? I think that would solve a whole lot. Because regardless of, again, like, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just classic gameplay. It's more grindy, right? It would still hopefully make the pugging pool bigger. Right now, it's small, and the people who are doing it are going with pre-groups. And I think a really healthy server is how easy it is to pug, right? We did all of SOD pugging, we did all of MOT pugging, we did TBC pre-patch, and we did TBC Phase 1. That's my experience with pugging, right? The last, like, 2.5 years. It has never been as hard as this. For better or for worse, right? If this is still the most casual version of TBC ever, like, I get that. But for better or for worse, this is the hardest time I've ever had pugging. Phase 3 SOD was really rough, but this is worse, right? And so I think a really healthy server means just a really healthy pugging pool, right? Whereas, like, other versions games were like this, right? So even though people had their groups and stuff, right, there was still a whole lot more fucking people out there to fucking pick up, right? Like the stuffy machine. And now those people are, you know, still hopefully, like, making it up here or have given up. So that's, you know, again, no right answer. Not saying it's wrong or bad or anything. I'm just saying that's what's happening, right? And what do you do to potentially correct that, right? Can we get more players in this pugging pool? If so, how do we do it? Well, Joyous Journeys, I think, is the best answer. But hypothetically, I'm not saying to do it. What would happen if they allow GDKPs to be legal, right? Would that help out right now or not, you know? It's an interesting question, right? I have no idea what I'm talking about, guys. I have zero idea what I'm talking about. And then we're starting to go down in views, so I must be ranting.